Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to be introducing a new series to the channel. I call it Bodybuilder Reviews, and today I'm going to be reviewing a show on Channel 4. This show is called How to Lose Weight Well. It's on Channel 4 here in the UK, and I'm going to give my thoughts on it. Let's get into it.
We're a nation devoted to dieting. Whether it's the start of a new year, new relationship, or new season, there's always something we want to slim down for. But with thousands of diets out there, how do you know which one will work for you?
I was going to stop it right there. It didn't take me long to get triggered. When they say about thousands of diets, what they're talking about really are just fads. Thousands of fad diets that don't work. My takeaway message from this is that they don't actually teach the real mechanism of weight loss, which is a caloric deficit, i.e., if you're consuming fewer calories than you burn, then you're going to lose weight. Throughout this entire episode, probably throughout this entire series, I haven't watched all of it, but I've watched this episode. In fact, they never talk about the need to achieve a caloric deficit over a sustained period of time in order to lose weight. They never do that. Instead, what they do is pick and choose random, trendy fad diets that make absolutely no sense, you know, in the name of testing them out so that you don't have to. And as you'll see with me, that they are completely devoid of any sort of scientific merit. They're completely devoid of just anything useful that, you know, that could actually be sustainable. Essentially, they never teach people how to lose weight well. The irony of it all.
To low carb and crash plans to lifestyle changes, we'll help you find out which diet is best for you.
I have a big problem with that what you just said there. They'll trawl through all the thousands of diets so that you don't have to, so that you know which one it is. You don't have to do that. The single thing that creates fat loss or weight loss is just a caloric deficit. There's no need for this. As a doctor, you'd think that you'd know that. The question that they should be asking is not which diet is it. It's about which diet helps you create a caloric deficit most effectively, most sustainably, and healthily. So now we get the premise of the show. So in this episode, a pair of twins, their names are Mandy and Michelle. They've been struggling with their weight for their whole lives. Let's see what amazing, magical diets the doctors have decided to prescribe them.
So Michelle, you'll be going on the Mamma Mia diet.
The Mamma Mia diet is an Italian weight loss plan that claims you can eat pasta and lose weight.
Alright, so first thing there, like, it claims that you can eat pasta and lose weight. Like, yeah, you can, of course you can, so long as you're in a caloric deficit. But do these people, does Michelle understand that you need to be eating a caloric deficit in order to lose weight? Does she know how many calories are in 100 grams of pasta?
Mediterranean foods focusing on freshly made dishes with lots of veg, fruit, nuts, fish, and whole grains. Incredibly, you are allowed a glass of red wine each night, but only if you really.
So as I said before, the main drive, I'm going to say this over and over again, the single point, the main driver, the only thing that matters in weight loss is a caloric deficit. In that diet that they just prescribed, there's absolutely nothing that teaches you how to create a caloric deficit. It's absolutely nothing there, okay? Moving on, let's see what the other twin, I think her name is Mandy. Let's see what she's been prescribed.
Fit diet for me, yeah.
Okay, Mandy, you're going on the no-grain diet.
Okay.
This diet makes grains and carbs the villains, focusing instead on protein, non-starchy veg, and healthy fats. It recommends sticking to 3 regular meals a day, along with 3 small healthy snacks. But unfortunately for Mandy, sugar and coffee are banned.
And also, like, why are they? It's just like, it just seems so arbitrary, all these diets. If
Not only does it ban grains, but there are a few other things as well: alcohol, sugar, fruit, and coffee.
It cuts out fruit. Like, why are they even entertaining this? Why are you cutting out essential micronutrients? Why?
Well, the makers claim this helps you lose up to 2.5 stone in 4 months. But Michelle must cook from scratch using fresh ingredients, and each meal must begin with a salad. She's also allowed small amounts of red wine and dark chocolate. It may sound bellissimo, but sugar is limited, and she can't eat pasta after lunchtime.
What? Okay, so let's just recap there. Authors of this diet claim that she could lose up to 2 stone in 4 months, so long as she cooks from scratch, starts each meal with a salad, enjoys a glass of wine, and then to limit sugar, how much that is, who knows, and then to not eat pasta after lunch. All these guidelines are so vague. There's so much room for error. There's no means of properly measuring one's caloric intake. There's no means of, they don't even bother to figure out what her maintenance calories are. So when I say caloric deficit, what is a caloric deficit? It is just eating below your maintenance calories, or eating below your TDEE, which is your total daily energy expenditure. If you're consuming fewer calories than you burn over a prolonged period of time, then you will lose weight. And as you can see from this Italian diet, there's nothing about that, like cook from scratch. What does that mean? Like, so long as I cook it myself, I will lose weight. I could easily put in, I don't know, a whole half a bottle of oil, or I could put, there's nothing to say how much I have to cook or how much I'm eating. It says cook from scratch, start with a salad. Does that mean I can have dressing on that salad? Salad dressings are some of the most calorific foods out there because they're always oil-based, there's always a lot of sugar in them, and it says to not eat pasta after lunch. Right, so I don't know, Ferrero Rocher, again, it's restrictive. Anyone who's ever dieted will know that when you restrict certain foods, when you tell someone that they can't eat it, it creates a negative relationship to food. You then start to crave things. It becomes unsustainable, and when things are unsustainable, you are just that much likely to spring back and just go back to your shitty eating habits. There is a time and a place for junk food. There is a time and a place for snacks. But if you don't know the nutritional, the caloric value of the food, you won't know how much of it you can have while staying on track. So Mandy herself even said she has lost weight in the past, but then she'll always gain it back plus more.
Basically, my whole life has been dieting, losing weight, and then coming off the diet and gaining more weight back. And that's been rolling on for the last 30 years.
This is just exactly what I'm talking about. When you restrict things, when you have no idea what your caloric intake is with regards to your own TDEE, i.e. you have no idea how to achieve a caloric deficit, all you'll be doing is forever guessing, stabbing in the dark, playing a lottery, just hitting and hoping that something will stick. If you don't know what your macros are, if you don't know how much you actually need to eat to create a caloric deficit, this is what happens. You're just in utter confusion. You keep looking for new, for new fad diets. You keep looking for the newest thing, some new gimmick, some new magic trick.
In Gloucester, it's weigh-in day for 4-month diet twins Michelle and Mandy.
I can absolutely see that you have lost loads of weight. You've definitely lost weight. This hasn't fitted me in over 2 years.
Mandy was on the grain-free diet and had to cut out sugar and almost all carbs.
Weight-wise, I don't think I've lost anything for about 2 weeks.
4 months ago, she weighed 15 stone 10 pounds.
Age of 450, you go first.
But has the diet been worth it?
Now,
Probably not.
1412. So that's £12. It's not as much as I'd like it to have been. I would like it to have been 2
So not quite 2.5 stone.
stone, but based on what I've eaten for the last 15 weeks, I'm touched a bit to £12.
That's you!
Alright, so she's still lost weight. I don't know if they've been weighing themselves, how regularly they've been weighing themselves throughout the whole 4 months. We don't know for sure if it's 12 pounds really. So when trying to assess whether or not you've actually lost weight, what you want to be tracking is your weekly average weight. From the look of it, they haven't been doing that, because if so, then they would have said it. Why do we monitor our weekly average weight? So that is adding up your weight over 7 days and then dividing it by 7. It's because your weight fluctuates throughout the week. Your weight fluctuates throughout the day even, simply because of the amount of food that's in your body, amount of water that's in your body, are you hydrated, dehydrated? There's a number of factors that affect your weight. For example, this is my weight. Just over the week, you can see that it goes up and down. What I'm saying is that here, when she says she's lost 12 pounds, we don't know if that's 12 pounds today, because tomorrow her weight could go straight back up by easily another 2 kilos just from water weight, or, you know, we don't know. She shouldn't trust this number at all. We can say with certainty that she has lost some weight, but 12 pounds, we don't know. It could be actually a lot less than that. It could be 8 pounds. You know, let's say the worst case scenario, her actual average weight loss is 8 pounds. To have lost 8 pounds over 4 months is pretty rubbish. On the flip side, it could actually have been maybe 14 pounds or 16 pounds, which is fine, I guess. Even though she has lost weight, you should completely ignore this and disregard it anyway. Let's see how the other twin fared.
Michelle was on the Italian diet, which meant she could enjoy some pasta and even a glass of red wine. But has it helped her say arrivederci to the extra pounds?
Before I started, don't say anything, she knows, and I who know. Before I started, I was 15.3, and now I am 13.8. Yay! How much is that? Someone do some sums.
That's a fantastic loss of 1 stone 9 pounds.
Oh, that's okay, I can live with
That's
that.
massive!
I can live
Look, she's not happy.
That's about red wine.
I am happy with my weight loss.
She's not.
For the party, I was really hoping to have lost 2 stone, but 23 pounds is, you know, only 5 pounds short at the end of the day. It's only like a bag of potatoes short.
I mean, you know, fair play to them. They stuck at it. They've shown discipline, which is fantastic. They've actually stuck to a diet, albeit a completely rubbish, stupid, pointless diet. But they've showed determination. They've showed. I'm just sorry if I'm trying not to sound condescending, or patronising. But yeah, a lot of times the biggest hurdle with losing weight is just being able to stay consistent, and they have done that, which is better than most people.
So with the bubbles flowing, would Mandy recommend the grain-free diet?
This diet to me is boring, badly designed, difficult to follow, and everything you don't want in a diet is in this one.
Oh wow! Oh, that's amazing. Like, she couldn't have said it better, really. And again, it's like, why did they? You know, it begs the question. Like, why did this doctor? I mean, sorry, he is a doctor. Why did they bother waste time with this? Why didn't they get actual weight loss experts to help them lose weight? The fitness and bodybuilding community, we've been doing it for decades. Why didn't they get actual experts in weight loss to help these people lose weight? Why? This isn't something new. This isn't something that we've been hiding under a rock and keeping it secret. Like, no, one does not get to single-digit body fat percentage by accident. With juice or without juice, the process is exactly the same. It's a caloric deficit.
But does Michelle feel magnifico on the Italian diet?
I think this diet sounds too good to be true. In reality, it's not. I think it's the best diet I've ever been on. Cheers, man. Cheers.
Okay, so as ridiculous as these diets were, the Mamma Mia diet and the no grain diet, the fact that they had absolutely no real structure, the fact that it did not take into account what their TDEEs were, the fact that it didn't teach them how to actually achieve a caloric deficit. Despite those things, they still lost weight. So why would I still tell you guys to stay away from these diets like the plague? Well, because, okay, sure, they initially they saw some results. They did lose some weight. Whether that is actual fat loss, we don't know if those numbers, how accurate those numbers are. You should not try them. Is because it is not sustainable. There will come a point where they plateau. They cut out certain foods from their diet completely, and that's how they achieve their caloric deficits. They didn't know that though. It just happened because one of them wasn't allowed sugar and the other one wasn't allowed fruit. So, you know, and one of them wasn't allowed carbs. Taking out a massive, you know, a lot of high impact foods, okay, you're gonna create a caloric deficit there. Eventually, they will plateau. Eventually, their new caloric intake will then result no changes in their bodies. And at that point, when they stop seeing changes on the scale, when they stop seeing changes in their weight, they're gonna get frustrated. What's gonna happen is that they will most likely just revert back to their old eating habits.
Basically, my whole life has been dieting, losing weight, and then coming off the diet and gaining more weight back. And that's been rolling on for the last 30 years.
It's just upsetting because it is really just so simple. It's a matter of reading the label at the back, scanning it. You can record how much you're eating. You can find out exactly how many calories you're eating, how many proteins, carbs, fats, all that stuff. It's really easy, it's not that hard. If a 2-year-old can use an iPad, you as a grown adult can learn how to add up how many calories you're eating throughout the day. I hope you guys have learned something. I hope you guys realize that to not follow these stupid freaking diets and just learn what your macros are, find out how to create a caloric deficit and stick to that. That's all from me, guys. I hope you've learned something. Keep lifting, keep learning, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace.